Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Williams Return to Glory. This is episode 4, and today we are going to Barcelona and Monaco. Alright, looking at our pit crew here, we're just going to go through and do some rotation. Alright, so we've gone through and rotated. All our mistake percentages are down. Alright, so looking at the mail screen, we got stuff about the previous race. We got an interview with the race. Sergio Perez's agent has been telling reporters all over town you're interested in signing lineup next season. As always, just butter them up and have them open as options. Open to discussing terms with us. Alright, so from the part design screen, we're going to make another engine, just a great one, so we could get this epic one next time out. Went with this weight stripping one just because it adds some top speed. This one's just to make sure it gets here about 5 days quicker. It's a little bit of a higher ceiling with this other one, but I'm more worried about our top engine that we're going to create after this, where I think we're going to do risk level minus for 1 million, and then do this one down here. So from the headquarters screen, I just wanted to show that we just maxed out our forecasting center, so we should be able to see further into the race than previously. Alright, so getting ready for Barcelona, we're going to put Ponos on the car because it's our only option. Our tire selection is going to be 15, 10, 10. And for part fitting, we don't have any new parts from the last race. But anyways, on to Spain. Alright, so getting ready for practice, we're sticking with our normal drivers. Last time out we put a Porsche in the car, and we're going to focus on the soft tire. Just wanted to say Vettel announced his retirement and joined social media all in the span of one announcement. So yeah, it's sad to see him go, but I think when he left Ferrari, everyone was kind of expecting him to not really go anywhere too competitive. So it's a shame to kind of see that final year Ferrari for him being so uncompetitive. But hopefully he has a good remainder of his season this year with Aston, and hopefully we can see him on the podium at some point. But we're gonna go skip through practice, so be right back. So following practice from Barcelona, Sebastian Vettel was 13th, Alex Albon was 9th, and top of the board was Charles Leclerc. So heading into qualifying, we have level 2 quality trim and we have level 1 sweeter spots. Our setups are perfect. Just the little icons, they're about 98% and 99%. But anyways, on to qualifying. Alright, so we're going to time Albon at the line. So Albon left at about 11 minutes and 59 seconds, so we'll call that about a minute 47. So we'll send out Vettel with a minute 50 and Albon with a minute or 2 minutes remaining. Alright, let's see what they can do on this lap. Alright, so we're going to risk it sending Albon out, but we're going to leave Vettel in the pits. Alright, so Albon comes out of the final corner. Let's see what he can do. There, he's up. He's up again. Hopefully he doesn't get overtaken here. And he goes 15th. Alright, we were going to need to send out Albon at a minute or 2 minutes remaining, so we're going to wait to see what we're going to do here. I think it's too late to send Albon out, but we're going to send Vettel out with 2 minutes remaining. Alright, coming around the final corner for Albon, he's got 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, gets to the line. Alright, we go 15th and 16th. On the grid for the Spanish Grand Prix, the race is 44 laps long. The soft tires say they last about 23 to 25 laps. Any tire that we've ever had throughout this entire playthrough is going to be well short of the window that they give out. So I'm going to put Albon on the soft tires, but I'm going to put Vettel on the medium tires. We were able to get that up to level 2 during practice, very close to getting to level 3, but we did not. Their setups are perfect, and this is their driver strategy. We're going to just leave them on high engine mode, and we're only going to probably push them to about 0.7. So yeah, these tires seem to be cooling down fairly quickly, so we'll just have them attack till about a quarter of the way uh, to where it's starting to overheat, and then we'll put them back on neutral, and then we'll sort of balance that throughout the race. But anyways, on to the starting grid. So your starting grid for the Spanish Grand Prix is Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen, George Russell, Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris, Sergio Perez, Fernando Alonso, Pierre Gasly, Dennis Hauger, Yuki Tsunoda, Esteban Ocon, Mick Schumacher, Valtteri Bottas, Sebastian Vettel, Alex Albon, Guan Yu Zhou, Kevin Magnussen, Daniel Ricciardo, and Lance Stroll. Alright, so here are the 5 red lights. You see most drivers up in the front are starting on the softer compounded tires. Alright, we gotta make sure that we do not overheat these tires. Alright, we're gonna immediately go on to neutral. Gotta remember to keep an eye on that fuel. Alright, it looks like the soft tires are not cooling down, so we are gonna have Albon conserve. And we're also gonna have Vettel conserve. We're gonna have Vettel conserve until he's about halfway, and then we're gonna have Albon conserve for a little bit longer. So my hope is with Vettel we can just kind of have a pit stop on lap 22 onto another set of medium tires, and that'll be our race strategy. Alright, so we are halfway there. We're gonna wait until that says 0.7 on the fuel delta. Right there. Both of them go like this, and we're gonna have Albon just for a lap completely conserve. You shouldn't be passed by Ricciardo, but we're just gonna conserve for a little bit. And then we're gonna go on to neutral. Alright. Have him go on to neutral. Vettel's tires are heating up fairly quickly, so we're going to have him as well back up behind Ricciardo. Yeah, it seems like we have a fairly defined kind of rear of the pack at this race. Aston Martin have been the slowest team all year, but it does not look like they're too worried, or sorry, not worried, but slow this weekend. They're able to hang with. We see Gasly is behind us. Gasly is going to be a lot faster. Looks like Tsunoda is going to have to pit pretty soon. Alright, Albon needs to back up again. We might be able to actually stretch Albon to lap 22 on these softer compounded tire, which I was not expecting to do. So we're going to have Vettel back up just to kind of get some of that temperature out. He's not too pressured from behind, is he? No, he's got a big gap to stroll. Alright, so we're starting lap 22. We're going to have Albon attack, and we're going to have him pit this lap. But coming out of the pits, we're going to have him conserve. We're going to let Vettel go on a neutral. Alright, we need to... Oh, alright, I missed the window of doing the... Alright, we're going to have him conserve out of the pits, just so he can maintain... Oh, he comes out right behind Vettel. That's discouraging for Vettel. Alright, Albon's tires are cold enough. We're going to have him go into neutral. Vettel, we're going to have him push and pit onto the medium tires. Should he go onto... Damn it. Have him actually go onto the soft tire just because it's a little bit faster. Have him do the same thing as Albon. We'll pause here just so I can put him onto backup. Alright, looks like Hamilton's going to have to pit at some point, but I think he's going to get the gap on us before we have to worry about that. So we're going to have Vettel go on high, his engine mode. Kind of consistently burn off this fuel. Alright, and then we're going to have him go into neutral. Yeah, it looks like Tsunoda in 12th is a little too far ahead of us. We can get Bottas and Schumacher, but I'm not too sure if we're going to have the pace to do so. Alright, Vettel just looks like he got passed by Ricciardo, unless he's trying to pass Ricciardo. Alright, Albon is starting to get too hot with his tires. Vettel's getting blue flagged. What position is he getting blue flagged by? That would be third and second place. We're just going to have him back up and conserve a little bit. Alright, and then we're going to have him go neutral and high just so he can gain a little bit of an advantage. We're going to wait until Albon looks like he's gonna get the blue flag. Alright, there he goes. So he's gonna get the blue flag. We're gonna go on low so he can quickly get overtaken by third place Leclerc. Alright, once he's alongside Leclerc, we're gonna put him onto neutral and high. We're gonna have Vettel back up again because his tires are getting too hot. Wait, did he get overtaken? Oh, man, he must have... Oh, it's the 4th place of George Russell. Looks like we got Sainz right up here, too. Or no, we do not have Sainz. Sainz just pitted. Or dropped back. Alright. So Vettel's got some tires remaining. We're going to have to go on medium here. Actually, we have to go on low because we have too much fuel. Making Vettel just going to push him, and then we're going to back up Albon just a little bit. He's not in danger of Ricciardo, but we're going to have him go conserve medium. Alright, we're going to have Vettel back up. Who's behind Vettel at the moment? On track, not in position. Alright, that is 18th. of Joe. So we're going to have him just back up and mount for a pretty good charge here to the end. Alright, we're going to have Vettel just push high and high. These two. Alright. Alright, he's not going to get him, so. Whoops. Alright, so looking at the results from Barcelona, we had Vettel finish 17th and Albon finish 15th. Potentially could have put Vettel on the medium tire and just had him conserve that first part of the run and just be on neutral for the rest of the race, potentially. From practice, I thought they were cooling down a lot quicker than they were, but in the race, they definitely skyrocketing on the temperatures. So, yeah. Looking at your points, we have Gasly, Hauger, Alonso, Sainz, Perez, Norris, Russell, and your podium is Leclerc, Verstappen, with your winner, Lewis Hamilton. The Drivers' Championship, we still have the bottom 5 that have not scored points, those being the two Aston boys. Got Alfa Romeo of Guan Yu Zhou, the Haas of Kevin Magnussen, and then Albon has not scored a point yet. Dennis Hauger moves ahead of Esteban Ocon, and Hauger's doing a lot better than Tsunoda is. Top of the board, it's closing up. Lewis Hamilton is 18 points behind Leclerc, so the title fight is still on up here. Looking at the Constructors' Championship, nothing really changes, but it is very tight for the top 3. Looks like McLaren is kind of on their own little island here in between the front and the back. And then you've got Alpine ahead of Alpha Tauri, and then you have us ahead of the rest of our competition. So leaving Spain, we lose $158,000. From the pit crew screen, just once again going through, gonna do some rotation. From the pit crew screen, we've gone through and rotated some of the people around. Yeah, their percentages are starting to get a little bit higher than I'd want, but yeah, we can do the best we can with kind of who we have available. A lot of those new hires are not adequate enough, in my opinion, to hire. From the mail screen, we got stuff about the last race in Barcelona. We got an interview with Nico Rosberg. Simple question: which one of your drivers is better? We're gonna say Sebastian Vettel. From the part improvement screen, we don't really have too much to do reliability wise. I don't really see a point in getting something that's 94 to 100. So we are going to focus on doing all these performance things while we're waiting for our new engine to show up. And hopefully when that does show up, we get a pretty big performance boost in all these different areas. So from the mail screen, we have a dilemma. Apparently, Andrea Stella was caught trying to remove confidential information. He might be in contact with other teams who are looking to steal information. So I get to decide what to do here. I could not believe the allegations, take a 50-point hit on the happiness, do fine 40,000 and gain 40 and lose these two, or we can just fire Andrea. And I think I'm gonna just fire him. I don't think that's something that any team should stand for. So we're gonna get rid of you, Mr. Andrea. So from the scouting screen, we could go for any of the top guys if we really, really wanted to, but I don't think someone is going to join as a race engineer like Bono and go all the way down to our little team. So what I think we can do is we can look for someone who works at the smaller teams like Aston Martin, who maybe aren't performing as well, and Haas. So we can go for Rob Smedley. How much is to break their contracts? Okay, that's not that much. We got Tim Wright, and we got Rob Smedley. I think we're gonna go for Tim Wright just because he's 12 years younger, and we can pair him up with Sebastian Vettel. And yeah, he does already have a relationship with Sebastian Vettel, so this works wonderfully actually. So we're gonna approach him. All right, so this is the deal I was thinking we can give him. Not likely for him to hit first, but he might. Should be good. He only has one patience, so we can't really do anything crazy here. I'm gonna go against the grain with the length of the contract. We're gonna go for a 3-year or almost 3-year contract. They're gonna pay everything, give him the max on everything else, and we're gonna send that through. So from the mail screen, you see we got a contract offer accepted from Tim Wright, but something I thought was kind of funny. Alex Pillow wants out of Ganassi. So from the staff screen, we're gonna sign Tim Wright, and we're going to have him paired with Vettel, and hopefully he gets some of those unlocks immediately, and he does. For those interested, here's the Formula 2 results. You got Timo Bernhard getting the win in the fastest lap. The podium having Felipe Drugovich and Yumu Iwasa. We're going to just scroll through these results real quick. Looking over at the championship, you see Timo Bernhard all the way up at the top with Marcus Armstrong right behind him. You got the two MP Motorsports guys just kind of hanging together. Felipe Drugovich and I think it's Christian Novalak. I'm not quite sure. Looking over at the team standings, Van Amersfoort are up at the top by about 7 points, and we got a real tight battle for the top 4. Got a bit of a gap from 4th to 5th, but from 5th on back, I would say that's pretty close. Once again, for those interested, this is your Formula 3 standings. You got Earl Bamber winning with Nico Hulkenberg and Lucas de Grassi on the podium. I'm just going to scroll through these results real quick. And looking at the championship, Nico Hulkenberg moves all the way up to the top, right ahead of David Schumacher and Kyle Collette. Yeah, just a real tight battle. I'd say pretty much all the way through down to 7th. Really, any good result here and can see someone kind of become more in contention than they were previously, and it's not too far of a shot for deGrassi to get really close to Hulkenberg next race. Yeah, and still, just some of these drivers not having points. This is an area of opportunity. Looking at the team standings, Campos on top with ART right behind them. It's a little bit of a distance back to Carlin, a little bit of distance back to Prema, a little bit of distance back to Van Amersfoort. And yeah, just kind of a tight little fight here for 7th through 9th. So a little bit of follow-up to the dilemma we had. Stella moves to Aston Martin to pair Daniel Ricciardo. Alright, so heading into Monaco, we're going to put Ponos on the car. We're going to have our tire selection of 15, 10, 10. Part fittings, we don't have any new parts to put on the car, and we're going to head on to Monaco. So preparing for practice, we're going to put Sebastian Vettel and Alex Albon in the car. We're going to focus on the soft tire, but we might also focus on the medium tire, just like we did last race. And we're going to skip through practice. So following practice, Vettel was 11th, Albon was 10th, and top of the board was Charles Leclerc. Heading into qualifying, we're going to put qualifying trim level 3 and sweeter spots on Albon, and then for Vettel, we're going to put qualifying trim on him. I think the sweeter spots was specifically for his previous engineer, so Vettel no longer has that. So Albon's going to have a little bit of an upper hand in the qualifying sessions. Setup-wise, we're 98 and 98 on the setups, so everything's good there, but we're going to head on into qualifying. Alright, so Vettel is sitting about 5th, so that's good for him. We're going to send out Albon again, as well as Vettel. Alright, so Vettel is currently sitting 6th on pure pace, which is awesome. Just need to get Albon further up the grid. Alright, Albon does not improve, and he stays 18th. Alright, Albon starts his final lap. Let's see what Albon can do. I'm going to focus on Albon because he needs to really improve here so he doesn't start 18th. He goes 17th. And Vettel goes 8th. So on the grid for Monaco, Vettel qualifies 8th. He's going to be farther up the field, so we're going to give him the softer compound so he's a little bit quicker. Albon looks like he's going to go for a 1-stop with the medium. Vettel I don't think is going to be able to get it to go that far, so we're going to have him on probably a 2-stop. Hopefully we can finish in the points with Vettel finishing 8th in just a dry qualifying session without any crazy things happening. I have faith in him being able to do that, but that's it for the strat. Oh, actually no, 98 on the setups, and then this is going to be our driver strategy. But we're going to go on to the starting grid. So your starting grid for the Monaco Grand Prix: Charles Leclerc on pole at his home race, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez, Lando Norris, Carlos Sainz, Pierre Gasly, Sebastian Vettel, Valtteri Bottas, George Russell, Yuki Tsunoda, Esteban Ocon, Dennis Hauger, Fernando Alonso, Juan Yuzo, Lance Stroll, Alex Albon, Daniel Ricciardo, Kevin Magnussen, and Mick Schumacher. Alright, so here are the 5 red lights. Looks like Bottas is starting on worn tires. That's a little bit weird. We're going to push both cars to about halfway on the tires when it comes to heat. It's going to be a dry race, so there's going to be no trickery or anything to the strategy. We're just going to be doing a straight fight here. We're going to actually let Vettel push up, or actually we'll let both drivers push up to about halfway towards the red here, as we see Vettel starting to frantically kind of fall down the pack here. It's able to kind of hold position here, but I'm scared for when we have to kind of turn our stuff down. We're just hanging with the competitive guys, so if we can kind of just stay ahead of the McLaren, I mean, not even the McLarens, I mean, if we can just stay ahead of everyone else, being anybody that's not in a Ferrari, Red Bull, McLaren, or Mercedes, we should be good here. We're having an Albon push. Albon's all the way up to 15th, so that is good. Hopefully Albon can continue with this pace. We're going to put Vettel on a medium here. We're going to put Albon on a neutral here, but we're going to focus on Vettel for most of the race here. Vettel's staying ahead of Carlos Sainz, who's on the soft tire, but it's going to wear out soon, so he's going to have to pit before we do. So we're just going to pit when the tires get worn, not when it kind of makes sense mathematically to kind of stop and go. So, alright, we got a virtual safety car. Are we going to make it around to the pits? Actually, I need to pause, and we're going to put them both on low. We're going to back up so they can kind of get some warmth out of these tires. We are not going to be able to pit under the VSC. Unfortunate. Alright, we're going to have them push, actually. So we saved a little bit of fuel there. Looks like nobody was able to stop unless somebody in the back did. Does not look like they did. Vettel looks like he's going to get overtaken here as we get ahead of somebody. It looks like Gasly pitted. Alright, now we're going to put Vettel onto neutral. We're going to put Albon onto neutral. We're going to have Vettel push till he's about 25% on the tires. It looks like Hamilton is pitted already, so Hamilton is a little bit too far out of our reach. Alright, so we're at 31% with the tire here. So we get Norris just goes by us. Alright, we're at 27%. We're at 25%. Alright, we're going to pit Vettel in this lap. Put the soft tire on him. Alright, so he comes out in 10th. So that is pretty good for us. So yeah, it looks like Albon is not in a position to capitalize on really anything with his tires, which is unfortunate to see. We're going to let Vettel kind of have those tire wear drops. It looks like we're at least going to guarantee that we finish in the top 10 with Vettel, which is good for our points. We're having Albon push here. It looks like we're going to have Albon kind of... Yeah, we're going to have him pit this lap. He's going to pit onto the mediums again. And we'll just have him push out of the box as well. So Albon comes out in 15th. Looks like the Haas and the other cars look like they're going to make the tires stretch, which is unfortunate. Vettel needs to push to kind of get some warmth in his tires. We're just going to have him attack. I know it's going to take out some tire wear, but I'm fine with risking that. Alright, and we're going to wait till Albon gets... Oh, so Albon is getting laps. We're going to put him on a high, but we're going to have him go on neutral. Alright, so we got a 20-second gap over Tsunoda, who was in 10th. So we're sitting pretty here with our what we can do here. So this is pretty interesting. So we're going to go look at Albon. We're just going to try to keep an eye on what's going on for Vettel. We're going to have Vettel push for a little bit. Alright, we're going to just look to see how long we got those tires to last the first time around for Vettel. Vettel made those last 18. We have 18 laps to go currently. We're going to let Vettel attack just for a little bit. And we're going to have him pit for the softs again. And he's going to fit in right ahead of Tsunoda and right behind Alonso. We're going to have him push coming out of the pit, and we're also going to let him go on high on the engine mode. Once he gets super close to that hot point, we're going to put him on a neutral. Alright. So it looks like we're going to have to pit Albon again. It's not ideal. We're actually going to let him attack. Does not look like he's going to get lapped again. Alright, so we're going to have Vettel kind of hold station where he is at the moment. Alright. So it looks like we have a car behind us. It's going to get us a blue flag, so we're going to pit Albon onto... Actually, how long are the other guys able to get those soft tires to last? They're able to get them... yeah, we're just going to pit him and risk it with the soft tire. And we'll just have him kind of stay in neutral. Hopefully he doesn't immediately come out and get blue flagged. And right as I say that, it looks like he's going to immediately get blue flagged. Dang it. So Vettel is about 4 seconds off of Alonso. Alright, and Vettel looks like he's going to start... He might get caught here. We're going to have him push and conserve. Alright, Alright, so first place is behind Vettel. We're going to have him conserve into Hamilton. And then we're going to have him conserve into Leclerc. And then we're going to have him overtake and attack. And we're going to let Albon push a little bit. Alright, so there's Alonso. So he is right there. Oh, that wasn't Alonso. Where's Alonso? Alonso's right there. Oh, he needs to get caught. Oh, man. Alright, we're gonna push. We're gonna conserve. We're just gonna have him back up here. And Vettel finishes 10th, so we got another points finish, which is awesome. Hopefully Albon can get ahead of the 14th place car. Dang it. Alright, so from Monaco, Albon finishes 15th. We finish in the points again. We have Vettel finishing 10th. Then we have Alonso, Gasly, Sainz, Russell, Perez, Norris, and Lewis Hamilton, who actually won the race, gets demoted 2 places after he has a part broken, and that typically can cause a bit of a snowball effect where you take away somebody's best part and then they have to go to a lesser part. So that might hurt Hamilton, but the other step the podium, who was 3rd, Max Verstappen, and Leclerc gets promoted to winning the Grand Prix. So your Drivers' Championship, Magnussen moves ahead of Zhou, I'm assuming on average finish. Vettel gets his points total up to 4. Lando gets ahead of George Russell, so Lando having a fantastic year compared to George. Hamilton, he was going to close in a bunch of points on Leclerc that last race. Doesn't gain any because he had that illegal part on his car, but yeah, still a tight battle for the championship up front. So looking at the team standings, we now have a 3-point cushion over Alpha and Haas. We're still plenty of points behind of AlphaTauri. It looks like 4th, 5th, and 6th. They're going to be pretty hard to kind of knock out of position. Red Bull, Mercedes, and Ferrari are at the top, just kind of trading blows up here, but they haven't been changing position all that much. So leaving Monaco, we gained $12,000. Alright, so this is the end of the episode. We had a fairly good 2 races. I think the first one we were a little slow, potentially went on the wrong tire with the wrong driver. Second race, got points. That's our first time getting points in complete dry conditions through qualifying and through the race. So that was big. Just to be able to be up there, we ended up finishing behind Alonso, who was the first car behind the top 8 pairing of Leclerc, Hamilton, Verstappen, Perez, Norris, Russell, Sainz, and Gasly, and the McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull kind of sandwich, or not sandwich, but kind of top block. So yeah, it looks like points are going to be fairly difficult throughout the year, just because you got these top 4 teams that take up all but 2 places. So we're going to have some crazy results and some crazy weather situations for us to kind of gain points throughout the year. And hopefully with our continuing development on the car, we can continue to go up the pecking order. But if you liked the episode, like, comment, subscribe, all that dumb YouTuber stuff, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.